Alright, update on KNC. So it looks like we've got another higher low in this uptrend that we've been putting in. So all in all, KNC looks pretty good. I mean, this is really just a quick update for you. For a lot of cryptos, I do like an extensive macro market perspective on where I think we're going, but there's not really much I can say from a macro market perspective. I don't think there's any point in even drawing fibs because, you know, this is our all-time high. We can start focusing on some fib extension targets after we do take this out, but you can see until we do take out the all-time high at 438, there's not going to be too much to talk about. So let's just jump in. You can see my personal target from the breakout of the all-time high, which once again is 436, would be all the way up here at $6.42. So a very nice potential swing trade that we could be making in the short term. Now, I really like the setup of KNC. I said this in my last video when I said the bulls are in control. Since then, we've had a step in of buying volume. The daily squeeze momentum indicator is just heading to the upside, and this just means the momentum is in the favor of the bulls. We're in such a macro uptrend in the short term. We're in a very nice uptrend as well. If we come over to the 4 hour, the bears have taken control since we recently topped out. We formed something like an ugly head and shoulders pattern here before breaking down. It's not perfect, but nonetheless, we broke down and we're currently retesting the neckline. So I would be somewhat cautious if you're looking to like leverage trade this on like 100x leverage, because in my opinion, it would not be out of the question for us to come down, you know, another 4% or so, come back down to this trend line before we do initiate the uptrend. I'm personally not shorting this. I'm not looking for another retest of this. It is just something to be to consider if you are looking to make a very big short or short-term position to the downside. So 4 hour as well. Like I said, bears are in control, but they are, you're starting to see these dark red candles come in, which is indicative that bears are losing all control. Also, you can see we're in like an ascending triangle type formation right now. We've got the top here, we've got the bottom here, and we've just been bouncing between these two zones. We did have a fake out to the top, but nonetheless, we're right back in the triangle. The apex of this triangle, I don't think we will be talking about this all the way up until the apex. I think this will break out long before then, because this would bring us into the 23rd of April. So still quite a while away before we have that apex, but as you can see, Bitcoin formed an asymmetrical triangle, had a fake out to the downside, and is now having a huge rally. So I don't personally think Bitcoin's going to crash, which is why I'm personally not expecting KNC to go down any more than just 3%, just to come and back test this uptrending support. But you know, if we do have a solid break above 436, I could definitely look to enter another short-term trade for KNC before we do come up and you know, take out my two price targets. So once again, my very macro price target for this, the first price target, is your 1.618 fib up here at $6.43. You can see that by drawing our fib from the previous all-time high all the way down to the low. But what's interesting is if we come over to the 4 hour, on the most recent huge impulse that we had from the high to this low, and bear in mind it is, if we draw it from this high to this low, it's not from this low down here. So I haven't drawn it wrong, just so you know. I am drawing it from, you know, this high, which was higher than this high. So obviously we can't draw it like this. We've got to draw it like this. So I'm working off this high to this bottom down here, and you can see the impulse target of the fib 1.618 extension would bring us all the way up to $5, which I did talk about in my last video. So from where we are now, a break up to $5 could yield a 19% return. If we do reach my more macro price target all the way up here at 638, basically another 49, basically 50% increase from where we are now. So I really like the setup on KNC right now. I would personally be looking for a breakout of 436. I think I'd look for a daily close. Yeah, I'd look for another daily close. The last time we had a daily close, we actually back tested this, and then the next day we slipped below it. So slightly risky here. Obviously, once again, not financial advice. I would just be looking to make a trade personally once we do break above 436, with my first take profit being at $5 and the next take profit up here at $6.39. That is all I've got for you for KNC. Once again, we've got a beautiful uptrend right now. We're forming higher highs, higher lows. The momentum is definitely in the favor of the bulls, and also in the past couple of weeks we're seeing an increase in volume. So I'm getting a ton of requests from this. It seems like people like KNC, and that's very interesting to me, because I've been in crypto since 2017, and from what I can tell, you know, no one was talking about it down here in 2020, and almost no one was talking about it back here. And you know, this has been a somewhat longer term project, and you know, it seems like, you know, people are getting into this, you know, in the shorter term right now, which is interesting to me. I mean, fair enough, we're putting in a nice uptrend right now, which is understandable. I see a lot of people kind of jumping in right now. So be careful, don't FOMO, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Once again, not financial advice, just my opinion on the market. And yeah, cowboy out. Peace.